My name is Austin, and this is Dungeons and Dracon Beams, Megamorphs 3. Dylan. As you stare up and watch the pterodon's mouth open, Matea's hummingbird body flutter forward. The pterodon snaps its beak shut, enclosing Matea, the whole hummingbird body within. It then barrels towards you, but as it sees you, it begins to flap its wings to try to pull up.
How close is it?
5 feet, up and away.
Okay. And it's got Matea in its mouth. Crap. I'm gonna turn to Kamren and say, Tom Cruise! I'm gonna run down the log toward this pterodon and try and jump and grab its feet.
He takes off after you. Roll an athletics check. And as you jump off the log, Kamren comes up from behind you and pushes you up as hard as he can, so do it with advantage.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna have this thing make a save.
Tom Cruise!
It flaps its wings and you jump. Kamren pushes you and you just manage to grab onto its feet as it tries to flap away, and it's struggling to try to keep itself up as you pull it down and your feet hit the ground as you're holding onto its legs.
I'm gonna focus on recording this pterodon.
Hell yeah. So you feel this tingle in your fingers as the familiar process of recording happens. But this pterodon does not trance. It continues to flap its wings wildly, trying to get away. As you're holding it and you start, Kamren comes in and just tries to like wrap his arms around the wings to try to hold it as well and like keep it down with you. He'll make an athletics check versus the pterodon. So he runs up and wraps his arms around this pterodon and drops to the ground in front of you. And it's going to get one attack. It's going to try to bite Kamren. And it misses him.
As it opens its mouth, what happened?
Yeah, it opens its mouth and unfortunately, seeing the beak come towards it, Kamren grabs it and shuts it. And then he looks at you and says, oh shit. And he lets it go. You finish the recording process.
I'm gonna yell at Kamren to record this bird. Record this bird!
Yeah. You see him concentrate.
Okay. Fuck, Matea's still in its mouth. Yeah, she's struggling with this foot and she's like, Matea, if you can hear me, morph or something. Get out of there.
Roll me, so this is like a mini skills challenge. So roll me a persuasion check. And this is basically to see if she can hear you.
Yeah, I think she can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just at this moment, you're like looking and you're yelling and nothing seems to happen. Kamren is trying to record it, but he's holding it as tight as he can. It'll try to bite him one more time. That one will hit for 8, and he has to make a concentration check. Come on, Kamren. He finishes his recording process. He's gonna like try to move one of his hands to grab the beak, and he'll say, Dylan, help me pry it open.
Okay, yeah, what she's gonna do is where she's got the foot in her hands, she's gonna like lift her legs up and wrap her thighs around it and then reach up toward this beak to try and pry it open.
Fuck yeah. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in this motherfucker.
That's right.
All right, yeah, you can make an athletics check with advantage.
Okay.
You like wrap your legs around and start to pull this beak down with your hands as Kamren pulls the other way. A second later, you see a growing hummingbird stumble out of the pterodon. She's demorphing. There is blood. It looks like she did get bit, but she's starting to demorph. Now what?
I don't think we can hold it. Do you think we can hold it?
No.
Okay, on 3,
2,
1.
He lets go. The pterodon flaps and takes one quick nick towards you for 17 to hit.
Oh, yeah, that's going to hit.
4 piercing damage, and then it starts to climb back up into the air and out through the canopies. And Matea continues to demorph. Savannah. The sun just starts to hit the horizon, and the winds blow through your feathers. Your instincts let you catch the rising air from the ground that push you higher. Your red-tailed hawk knows how to ride a thermal no matter what the time is. And as you ramble off your thoughts to Aximili, he's silent as he thinks about your question. But then he says, "There's a lot going on that we do not know. In fact, if we stayed where we were, that blast surely would have killed us. We were not killed, however. We are still here, wherever here is. No matter our situation, you have taught me that there is always something, Prince Savannah. We still have the one thing that we only lose when we decide to give up. Hope.
All right. Then we need to make a plan.
Yes.
It seems like morning, right?
I think she's just straight up asking Aximili. Like, I think it's part figuring out what his opinion is, but also a little bit of a test of like, is his time tracking coming back online?
He looks to the sun. It looks like the sun is setting. However, why do you ask?
Because if it's starting to get towards nightfall, then maybe what we need to do is make some quick shelter. I have kind of an idea.
Yes, we should find a good place to set up a camp.
Yeah.
He just banks right a little bit to like kind of cover a bigger distance as you all look.
What if we go and set up, I don't know if, well, I'll ask you and you tell me if this question is offensive. What if we go and we set up a bit of a campsite? I can use my new, I assume, Ankylosaurus morph to knock down some trees, and we can use your tail blade to cut it. And it serves a dual purpose of we can make some shelter for tonight, but it will easily signal to anyone else if they stumble upon it that we're here too.
That is a good idea. Having one place where we could all meet, where everybody could find us. Let's do it.
All right, let's find a spot.
She's like looking around everywhere, but the sort of location she's going to look at is a little bit set back into the woods, but close enough to a water source that like they could get there if needed.
Yeah, roll me a perception check, and you can do it. Well, you already have advantage, so.
I do, but still.
So you are looking, surveying this whole area. You see that stream that you had saw before, and like that's a good water source. You know that it's fresh water, and you see kind of where it's moving, and you're like just looking for a spot along that river to find. Something else catches your eye. You see a pteranodon flap as it climbs higher and higher, and it looks a little bit distressed as it comes out of the canopy. And as you like follow its flight path, you see that it's flying towards more pteranodon that are in the distance. But you also see like where it came from, looking back towards that area. You see a 4-legged creature with wings like coming out of the side of it. You see it like move up, and its upper body is like looked up towards the sky, and as it's like stumbling around, you see 2 eyes pop out of the top of its head And then you notice that it's Matea as she stumbles to the ground. It looks like she's demorphing from Hummingbird. You scan back and you see Dylan and Kamren both pushing themselves up off the ground and like trying to hurry up towards Matea.
I mean, immediately to Aximili and them, she's going to call out in the order that she sees them, and it's going to be Matea, Dylan, Kamren.
You get nothing.
Nothing?
Where? This says Aximili.
She's going to try to direct as best she can using landmarks. So like say like, look in the direction that I'm flying 10 degrees to my left. And then if you look at this tree in this distance, follow it straight. Like literally it's like how you give directions when you're birding and you see a bird and you're trying to describe it. You're like, do you see that the tallest tree? Look to the fork of that, look down from the middle and about 10 feet below that.
Yes, I've definitely pointed out a hawk like that in the backyard.
Thing.
Yeah, and you like point this out. They're a good distance away. Like just an estimate 500-ish feet. But you see them. They just can't hear you yet. You also see something else.
What?
You see stalking them coming from where the planes were. Looks like it is a straggler. It is a Deinonychus, and it's stalking them. It's in bushes, probably 100 feet away, maybe, just like watching, moving forward.
She immediately rolls into a dive, like literally like flapping down using gravity. She's heading towards the head of this Deinonychus. As she's going, she's screaming to Aximili, like, they're being hunted. Aximili, they're being hunted. Get between them and demorph. She's full red-tailed hawk scream, by the way. That's out of time. Full seer red-tailed hawk scream.
Zach. Standing in front of you is the infamous prehistoric nightmare. The gargantuan Tyrannosaurus Rex's yellow eyes stare at you. Its massive body slowly rising and falling with each of its breaths. You hear a guttural groan begin in its chest, and this dinosaur head begins to slightly lower, and then it lets out a booming roar towards you.
How far away is it?
About 40 feet.
That is very close.
Mm-hmm.
How far away is something I think that I could hide in as a Triceratops?
Ooh, I don't know if there's any mountains close.
Okay, I was in the forest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there cover in the forest?
So there are parts of this forest that are a little bit more dense than others, but a lot of the trees are a little bit more sparse. So you are in here within these trees, but there's none that are really big enough for you to hide behind because you're so massive, and it is kind of hard to maneuver in here. And because of the proximity, like he's already looking at you and roaring, and he looks like he's about to run towards you, there's really no time to hide either.
I'm gonna freeze. I'm not moving because Zach has seen Jurassic Park and thinks it's true. Whether it really is doesn't matter. I'm gonna thought speak to this T-Rex, and he's just gonna be like, please tell me you're not a real T-Rex.
So as this roar finishes and it starts to take steps towards you, you thought speak to it and it just stops, lifts its head back up and like kind of looks around and stares back towards you, and then just but it looks around like kind of confused.
Okay, so that seemed to buy some time. Are you, how are you doing today, buddy? And like, I'm starting to like try to back away, like really, really slowly while I'm talking to it. If it's confused, I'm gonna keep confusing it.
What kind of roll can this be? Deception.
Happy to. I do get advantage on deception. Not that it matters, it's a 15. How smart is a T-Rex?
We're about to find out.
We about to find out.
It is, because what I'm gonna do is give it an intelligence save And if it fails the intelligence save or passes it, it'll either have a flat roll or disadvantage on its like insight check. Its intelligence should
T-Rex
play a
is
part here.
famously very smart.
Yeah.
Oh God.
11.
Okay, but I had advantage.
Yeah. Now it makes the wisdom save with disadvantage. So
Okay, now I got you. With
13.
disadvantage, I win.
yes, you do.
Because my deception was 15.
It starts chomping the air just on the side of its head and like blow it, and it still seems confused.
I am like poised to run, and God damn it, I don't know what to do. This is Dinosaur Jesus. Look out behind you. And then I start to like, I hope I'm like ready to run as soon as I see if it turns around or something.
I mean, as you say, it's Dinosaur Jesus again. It's still just chomping the air.
All right, I run. I'm running away.
It does see you run and like looks at you and takes like a few seconds, and it watches you run, and then it just and like lowers its head and just starts chasing you. And we're gonna go into a skills challenge, which guess what? You're already up 2.
Nice. I'll take it.
Your rules for this skills challenge: your DC to escape is 16 for 1. You have to get 6 successes before 3 failures, and you can't use the same skill twice in a row.
Got it. So far, I've used deception.
We'll just say you can't use deception first.
Okay, so I am running, and I am absolutely looking for a place that I can either hide or get into that it cannot follow. I mean, we're roughly the same size, so I don't know how that's going to work. But I'm going to just, I guess this is perception, unless it is like investigation or something. Do we even have that?
Yeah, perception will work.
Now, unfortunately, I have to use the Triceratops' perception. Which
No.
is
Because it is a wisdom-based skill, you can use yours, but you can use any abilities that the Triceratops gives you.
Okay. Well, it doesn't have any bonuses for percepting, but I do have a +1, so I'll take a 17 to perception.
17 is a success. So immediately you don't see any places that you can get to right now to hide, but you look up ahead and you see that the rocks start to like layer on top of each other and kind of create not steps but like mounds that start to go up and lead to a mountain, like the base of a mountain. And if you get over there may be a rock that you could kind of duck behind and hopefully get there before the T-Rex, and hopefully passes you up. So
For sure.
there is a way that way.
So I'm gonna go in that direction. So I'm gonna keep yelling at it, just telling it other shit, just to try to confuse it further. But this time, in thought speak, I'm going to try to make a sound like a Tyrannosaurus Rex. I want to use performance.
You can.
Okay, but I'm also roll performance. So that's a nat 20.
That's 2
That's
successes.
a natural 20. Hell yes! Oh man.
He was already confused. You saw him bite in the air, and now this roar is in his head, and you see him just flat out stop running and open his eyes wide and kind of like look around, befuddled. But he is like staring at you as you're still running off into the distance. And as you keep running, you kind of like look over your big Triceratops shoulder and kind of see what he's doing. And as you do, you hit a slope, a muddy hill, and you start sliding down. The Tyrannosaurus doesn't seem to be following you anymore, but you are sliding down this mud hill now.
How long is the mud hill?
Oh, it's pretty
Pretty
fucking long, bro.
What's at the bottom?
It looks like it's mud, but if you want to give me intelligence
Is
check.
it dark colored mud?
Yeah.
Oh no. Time to demorph. Oh, okay, it's 15. I got the good roll first.
As you're sliding, as part of that intelligence check, you're like, you see the dark mud and you notice that that's different. And in the mud, you see the bones of a Triceratops head just sticking out as it's stuck in.
Shit.
So we'll get back to this skills challenge.
I would like to use the Triceratops' strength, and I want to jam my horns into the dirt, the ground, in a way that a Triceratops would never think to do.
Mm-hmm.
But that Zach is using his human intelligence to think. You know, like when the cool ninja guy like puts his knife in the sail so that he slows himself. It's the same thing. I want to do that.
All right. Roll it up.
All right. Please roll good. Okay. 30, 20.
Yeah, you jam your horns in and you start to slow. And you're about 50 feet from that dirty black mud as you descend and stop. And you're held right here on the side of this mud hill.
How steep an incline are we talking here? Like if I morph back to human, would I just start sliding again? Or would this be like I'm lighter weight and I'm like in the mush that the Triceratops has created, so like I would kind of stick here for a little bit?
You can reason a little bit that the more weight and less maneuverable Triceratops wouldn't, it'll keep falling. But if you demorph, you're agile enough, you could probably chill up here on this thing without sliding, unless you started to move too much.
No, I'm just gonna stay right where I'm at, and I'm going to start demorphing. I want to control the morph as much as I can. I know that I can't, like I'm not a stream, but I want to keep these horns as long as possible.
Let's do concentration.
Is it the Triceratops's or mine?
It's yours.
5. Not great.
You start to demorph, and the first thing that demorphs is these horns. Yeah. And you're starting to slide a little bit slower because they're still kind of dug in, but you're not stopped anymore. That is a failure.
I'm just morphing as fast as I can. I'm going to try to angle my body so that it's like, I'm still going down, but I'm going to try to angle it so I'm going towards the edge of this tar pit. I guess I can make an acrobatics check.
All right, that would be with the the Triceratops. So,
but I do have advantage on it as Zach. So do I still get the advantage?
I'm gonna say yes.
I agree. I think that's a great. Fuck!
Oh,
a 5 and a 2. Not great.
You are getting smaller quickly as you concentrate more on the morph, but as you try to angle yourself, being still like off balance, you start to like roll and then roll, and you're just on your back now, sliding faster.
Fuck.
Hey Nate, you're 5 and 2 now. This is it.
Yeah, I know. And I don't know what to do. Like at all. I don't have the first idea what to do. Last try. Can I redo the same? Can I do a performance again?
Yes, you can.
I'm going to thought speak at that Tyrannosaurus Rex, and I'm going to make the most enticing dinner sounds ever. The goal is he's going to come charging over that hill straight into a mud pit, and he's so fast and big and heavy that he's going to hit the tar pit mouth first, and I'm going to land on his back.
I'll let you do that. If you fail, the skills challenge is over.
Yep, and I'm in the tar pit, and it doesn't matter. I do get advantage on performance, and I'm still trying to demorph as fast as I can. That's a 15.
You thought speak, and you wait as you slide, continue to demorph, and you're pretty thick now, but you're like almost to your human body. You fail the skills challenge, and you and stick straight into this mud, knee deep. Dylan. You and Kamren kind of push yourselves up off the ground after this pteranodon is flapped off, and Matea is starting to demorph, and in your head she's just, what was that? That beast almost swallowed me whole. And she's just not happy about it as she's like demorphing.
Yeah, it wasn't friendly to us either.
Yeah, that thing. You got it, Dylan. I don't know. You get credit for that one. You see how high you jumped? Grabbed it right by its shit. Brung it down. It was cool.
I mean, I would have called that its foot, but that's, to each their own.
Well, you're right. It's foot. Talon.
Yeah? Okay. I was a little above a talon, but...
Well, big talon. Big ankle.
Big, thick ankle, yeah.
Big ass, thick ass ankle. That.
Yeah.
What's that thing called? A thickodactyl? A pterodactyl? Roll perception check, Dylan.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Hell yeah. And I'm going to say, because Kamren's listening with you, you get advantage on that. So it's strange because you've seen these creatures, you've seen these trees, these plants that are out of time, the time that you're used to. But as you all have this conversation, you hear something else out of time echo through the trees and the valleys. It's the sound of a red-tailed hawk. And as you look up and you kind of track where the sound's coming from, you see one dot heading towards your east as it shoots down into a dive, and another heading closer towards where you are as it's in a dive as well. The red-tailed hawk is heading to your east. The northern harrier is shooting down towards where you all are.
Okay, yeah, Dylan is gonna look up and she's gonna just start waving her arms. She's like, "We're over here! Ah, we're over here!"
What? Kamren looks at you. I know, I see you.
She's gonna turn to Matea. Hey, think at him.
Hello? Nobody's saying anything.
Ah, crap. And she's gonna start morphing.
All right. What's happening? Where are we going? What are we doing?
They're up there. Those birds are not this time birds. The one we touched, that's a this time bird. We gotta find our birds.
Oh. All right. Whew. You see his nose start to curve, and as he starts morphing as well. And as you all start to morph, you do eventually hear, "Dylan, Kamren, you must run now."
Ah, crap. I'm gonna start hop running as I'm morphing, trying to get, to enough speed where I can start flapping my weirdo wings and get some lift.
And Kamren follows you. So what we're gonna do now is go into a skills challenge. But it's not just any skills challenge.
Ba-ba-ba-dum.
I gotta attribute these rules to Rodrigo Lopez of Critical Hit. We've used them before on the show, but we're gonna use the full set of rules now, and it's gonna be very fun. So first off, I'm gonna tell you your DC. It's 18. So anytime you beat 18, you get a success. And the goal is to get 8 successes before 6 failures. And here's some special rules. You can't roll the same skill twice in a row. You can't roll the same skill as the person that rolled before you. Kamren can aid you in strength skills. Aximili can aid you in intelligence skills. Matea can aid you in dexterity skills. And aiding provides advantage, and they can only do it once per turn. And if we can narratively make it make sense. So Kamren's not going to be able to help you with an athletics check if he's 40 miles away or something like that. Natural 20s are 2 successes. Natural 1s are 2 failures. You two roll initiative to see who goes first. Dylan, you're up first.
I think first and foremost, she's trying to get lift and get her butt out of there.
Yeah, you're still mid-morph, but let's do athletics to see how well you can get into the air.
Honestly, it's rude to have Dylan keep doing athletics.
Kamren's going to get underneath you since he's close to you.
But Kamren helps.
Yeah, and he's going to try to push you up.
That's good.
Your bones must have just hollowed out because you have some hang time as you're flapping. You're not being able to climb altitude as good, but you are up in the air. Savannah.
She is continuing on her trajectory in her dive, trying to make contact with this thing.
You have to adjust a little bit because as you see Dylan and Kamren start to speed up, it starts to speed up. It's still in the bushes and moving, but it's moving faster than it was.
How open are you to shoehorning things in?
This open as a 7-Eleven.
Open it. Oh, brilliant. I love that. Okay, so I think what she wants to do, she's rolling back what she was just talking about, literally right before they kind of started to look for this second location, was how this is the evolutionary byproduct endpoint of the creatures that they're with right now. So she is going to tap into that red tail instinct. She's going to still be hunting this thing, but I think she wants to try and kind of distract it as well. Like, she knows that the like famous like sir isn't gonna do it. That's not the noise that this thing makes, but it chirps. Like, we're pretty sure from everything she knows they chirp. So she's gonna try to use a vocalization and use animal handling to get this thing's attention, not fully on the prey that it's hunting, while she's still like just rocketing at this motherfucker.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for allowing me to shoehorn shit in. I have advantage on all animal handling checks.
Nice. As you let off these chirps, you see it stop for a second and take in its surroundings. This is a success, and it buys you another round. You do see, though, it has gained a little bit of ground, like right before you chirped, but it does stop now and like is looking around as you're still plummeting towards the ground. Well, towards it.
It's on the ground.
Yeah. Dylan.
As I'm, flapping, trying to gain altitude and all this other stuff, I'm gonna look and see where my Taya is and be like, what are you gonna get out? What are you doing? What are you morphing?
You see she has just, the last of her tail feathers have turned into a scythe blade with sawed teeth on one side of it. I am not going back to that body. I will stay in this one. And she just keeps moving.
Okay, run. And then she's going to try and go up. She's going to try and as she's going through the trees, like use her feet off of each tree and like propel herself upward.
Hell yeah. I'll let you do acrobatics for that, or perception as you like decide which branch is the best to spring you up. Maybe a little callback to Kefa.
Yeah. Aw. I'm using
Way to
perception.
talk
Thanks
you
for
into
that.
giving up your advantage.
Oh, oops. Didn't mean to do that.
That's okay.
It don't fucking matter. Yeah, pinpoint accuracy. These prehistoric branches are even springier, just as springy as the Hortbashir homeworld.
Nice.
All right, Savannah. You see, just as you're about to hit the canopy, so does Aximili.
All right, and he's closer to where they are.
Mm-hmm.
And has this brought me into thought speak range now, or?
Just now you hear like chatter between Aximili and Matea. Where at? Which way should I go? Back and forth to each other.
I'm getting pretty close to this thing, right?
Yeah, you just hit the tree canopy. 50 feet maybe until you're there.
50 feet. Okay, so when I was coming down, it was one rogue one that got away, right? This is not a pack hunt. Can I roll a perception just outside of the skills check challenge just to see if I saw anything else going on?
Yep.
Okay, and I can roll it as my hawk?
Yep. You look back to where you saw this Dionicus coming from. You see other ones in those plains, and you see those first three that you saw still feeding on that baby Triceratops.
Yeah, so I fully believe, no matter what the situation actually is, that this one has broken away from the rest.
Yes, for sure it has broken away. I will say though, as you are looking and you see those, they are 400, 500 feet away on the ground. But you hear them start to chirp to each other, and then a fourth one joins those three to eat. So you just basically saw them call one over.
Okay, great. That helps immensely. Thank you. Okay, so now that she's within thought speak ring, at least of Aximili and Matea, I think she'll start, calling out this is a Deinonychus. I should be on it in just a moment. Try to get clear of it. At this point, there's only one, so Andalites, either of you should be able to at least fight this thing.
Matea just digs her hoof into the ground and turns back towards where she saw Aximili go down. But Kamren continues to shrink, and then he jumps up in the air, and his body is really round right now and fat, and his wings are short, so he's just fluttering, but he manages to flutter just off the ground a little bit.
So what you're saying is you've created the classic animation of the one fat bird and the one very skinny bird?
Yeah.
Great.
You got it. But they're both grotesquely changing in shape as it happens.
Of course. All right. So for the skill, I want to hit this thing in the head. I want to hit it in the head. I'm aiming for the eye.
I think athletics. I would let you like barrel roll into an acrobatics if you wanted.
Am I rolling this as the hawk?
Yep.
Then absolutely it's going to be a barrel roll into, and you know what? I'm going to go one step further and like, instead of this like is a bullshit thing that I'm picking because of stats, it literally was like the barrel roll into the dive. This is kind of like the accuracy of hitting a target, a moving target from several hundred feet in the air, requiring like pinpoint precision and like swooping through trees accuracy that I would argue is more dexterity than strength, because it's the speed that's hitting them, not the power.
Mm-hmm. Perfect argument.
Thank you. Yeah, she is coming in. She is flipping through the tree, doing that classic thing where you see like hawks kind of like adjusting their wings from like very outstretched to like tucked in at their shoulders and like kind of twisting and adjusting as they're coming in on their target. Right as she gets kind of above it, trying to stay in a place that's going to indicate it's still foliage, like above that kind of eye ridge that they have going on. At the last second, she's just going to flare those wings, drop in, and with both talons aim for that eye on the side of its head and just try to like thwack, hit through it.
As you have all this momentum behind you, roll 4d4 because you were coming from real high up.
Sure was. You know what? I'll spend all my ones on the damage all day long today. Listen, roll 20, I got you. You want to put the ones on me? Do it in the damage. Don't do it anywhere else. I love that for you.
Right into its eye, these talons just dig in and it lets out this screech and staggers back. And like you flutter like right there in the air as it staggers and it looks at you. Or no, it doesn't, because there's blood coming out of its eye. But it like starts to like bring its hands up and like rake at its eye, trying to figure out what's going on, and then it stops and just raises its head into the air and starts letting out these loud calls. And I'll say you look with your Hawkeye back to those other Deinonychus and you see them stop.
Oh, I don't have to.
Yeah,
I know.
Their heads start to rise up. Dylan.
Yes, yeah, I'm here. I want to try and get into the air and search around and try and see what's going on around me. I want to search for what's going on around me.
You do have to take like a quick second and stop as you like look around. But you are up in the trees, so.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, your raptor eyes haven't kicked in yet, and you still have Dylan's eyes. And as you like look around and kind of like search, you're up in the trees, so it's hard. You definitely can't see Savannah and Aximili or anybody right now. All this chaos in the middle of everything.
Yeah, while she's like looking around in every direction, she's just like, what's going on? Can anybody hear me? What the fuck?
Am I close enough to hear Dylan at this point too?
Yes.
Dylan, we're being, well, you were being hunted by a singular Deinonychus, and I'm afraid I may have made an error, and we are now being hunted by multiple Deinonychus.
I knew it, Kamren.
What?
I told you.
We weren't being hunted by a Deinonychus. We were being hunted by a Thickosaurus.
Oh, we did get hunted by Thickosaurus too. Yeah.
What is a Thickosaurus?
It was a pteranodon. I'm a pteranodon.
Got it.
I don't have any teeth. And she like cocks her beak.
That is exceedingly cool.
Right?
As you say that to her, you see this Deinonychus in front of you just shake its head and turn so its other eye sees you. And it's gonna take some steps towards you and leap. It is your turn.
Aximili and Maitea, I no longer believe it is one Deinonychus. You should probably run at this point. That's my free action. Okay, let's see. What can we do and what can't we do? I mean, evasive maneuvers would be great. I think I'm about to get fucking chomped by this guy.
If you want to use evasive maneuvers, you have to do it with athletics because you used acrobatics last time.
No, I know. That's why I wasn't super keen on doing that particular thing, and so was instead going to go ahead and look at my stats and see what kind of tomfuckery I could come up with in this moment.
Hell yeah. You do hear, I am approaching Andalite form now.
How fast are you?
I am very fast.
Could you give me that in miles per hour, please?
1 second. My mind is jumbled. In a dead sprint, I could probably hit 35 to 40.
Oh, okay. Sure. So she is going to try to use animal handling again, please. And how she's going to do this is she is going to killdeer it up. So this thing's already leaping at her. It's already trying to hunt her. So she's going to try to use that chase and keep it on her tail exactly like a killdeer would do to get you away from its nest with its broken wing display. She's going to kind of keep acting, whether it's true or not, like she can't quite get the altitude and lead it back towards the pack away from the Andalites.
Okay.
Oh, hey, I get advantage on animal handling. This is the only way to play this game, I've learned.
So it jumps up and you manage to flap back just as it snaps in front of you and kind of fold your body to turn and start to shoot through the air and flap back towards the pack, and it is following you, but it's keeping up with you right on your tail, chomping every now and then. Back to Dylan.
All right. You know, as she's flying around in like circles trying to see anything, and she can't because she's stupid. She's gonna be thinking, Savannah, where do I need to go?
Keep going up, get out of the way of these things, and try to stay safe for a few minutes.
I mean, I think I'm good, but how can I help you?
Oh, I'm being bait right now, so I'm not particularly sure.
Oh my god, okay, so where are you?
She's gonna give her best descriptor in the same sort of way as she just did to Aximili, where she's like slightly to the east of you currently. If you look up directly towards the plains in the middle section where the mountain is ahead and then look straight down, I will probably be within your line of sight. And she's kind of like fluttering through the tops of the trees, so like hopefully maybe she can just kind of like shoot up through like a gap for a second and then like back into her pattern to keep this Deinonychus on her tail.
Sweet, I love that. You gave me cardinal directions. Can I use nature
Yeah.
to try and get that way, get to the edge of the woods, to the plains? Like if they see this big looming figure in the sky at the tree line, I want them to kind of stay in the plains.
For sure. For sure you can do that.
Never mind. I'll just be the person who brings us down each time. Keep winning. Keep winning, Alex.
I can't keep winning, Jenna. Jenna, I can't.
Dylan, as you try to fly up and get your position, you break the tree canopy for just a second, and you see those pteranodon coming back towards you.
This might not be the best time to mention this, but we also have more pteranodon as well.
Savannah.
You and Kamren are both already pteranodons, correct?
Yup.
Yeah.
So you two will be able to blend in with the flock?
God, I hope so.
I have no clue.
Aximili and Maitea, what are you doing currently?
We are together now, and we are moving towards your position. Should we retreat?
I would say so.
We will wait for you to retreat, Prince Savannah. That was Maitea.
And there's 5 Deinonychus total, is that correct? And I'm leading them away?
So the one is following.
That we can see.
The one is following you towards the other one, and the other ones have looked up and have started to like move towards you. So they're like, you're in the middle. They're both meeting to like sandwich you.
They're coming off the plains from eating that baby Triceratops. We have more dinosaur herds out there. We have the Triceratops. We have the Pachycephalosaur. We have the Titanosaurus.
In the very, very distance.
In the very far distance.
In the woods.
There are herds on the plains, though, correct?
You look at them now, and after this Deinonychus attack, they have all started to stampede north, basically. Across the plains, though, you still can see them running through the plains.
They're far away, though, is what you're saying.
The stampede, yeah.
But we're also on the river.
Kamren and Dylan weren't on the river. You were following the river that you saw, but they were not on the river.
Yeah.
There's like a ocean, a beach, a tree line, and then the plains, but then around the plains is jungle. So they were kind of in the jungle before the plains.
Okay. Can I? I'm going to try something weird.
Hell yeah.
I know there's an Ankylosaurus with babies in this area. I have a pack of Deinonychus on my ass. Can I use a survival to ram those two forces together in nature?
Yeah.
Fan-fucking-tastic if I do this. I might not. It's a wisdom roll, so give me a minute. Hang on. I think I can spend something to get advantage on that, but let me fucking read my shit. I think I'd re-roll it using Clear Bright Line.
You would.
Okay, I'm going to try to re-roll it to see if I can do it. Please do better, please do better, please do better. Did not do better. Did do worse. Did do much, much worse, though. And I racked up 2 losses for us, which is rude of me. Cool. Yeah, describe how I die. Let's go for it.
Literally bites you in the ass. It jumps up for 7.
Does not hit.
But it has a multi-attack, so it does swing a claw at you after that.
Sure.
A 6.
Does not hit.
You managed to, but the other 4 do meet you now, and they all chomp in the air. They're not gonna be able to get you, but you have all 5 of them on you now. Back to Dylan.
Okay, bear with me. Dylan loves dinosaurs. She loves everything about the Cretaceous period. She really adores the fact that she's even here right now, being a pteranodon. She wants to attempt to fly up into this flock of pteranodon and sort of shift them toward the plains. Would she be able to use, let's say, her love of, how animals functioned in this period and how animals function in our period to shift this flock using religion?
Whoa. Whoa. Are you gonna pray that they follow you?
Oh, she is absolutely praying that they follow her. Yes.
This is the first time in D&DB history, I think, that anybody's rolled any kind of religion check.
Absolutely it is.
She's sitting there like, oh, little weird man in the sky that came down and helped us in the Yeerk cave. Please, if for the love of God, please turn this flock, please.
I will allow it.
It didn't work.
Oh no.
It should have worked. It should have worked. And it didn't work.
I would love to use Wave of Wisdom to add my modifier to the roll to bring that up to an 18.
Yes.
How do you do that?
She is thought speaking it.
And then Savannah, dodging, weaving these fucking 4 Deinonychus on her ass, tail feathers just the ends of them getting shredded as the teeth just pull through the little bits on the end. Dylan's praying to a god she doesn't believe in as she flies up into... Sorry, that was just because it sounded cool, not because I believe it. Flying up into this herd of Pteranodon, or flock of Pteranodon, and I think she's just going to, because she has that view of the underside and can see Dylan going up, I think she can see a sort of formation, how geese fly in a V. It's a similar sort of, they are using each other's wing tips to buffet each other and create the ease other than the leader that's flying. And so she's going to say to Pteranodon, over to your left, you should be able to take control of the formation.
Yep, and she just swoops right in there and starts pushing them toward the meadow.
And even helping her a little bit as Kamren climbs up, he joins Dylan to make it like a group thing, and they all kind of join into formation. Savannah's
I'm so scared right now. I'm so scared because if I crit 1, we lose. If I succeed, we win. And if I fail, we're right on the cusp of 1 or 1. I don't like playing the odds. So I'm going to be a coward.
You went through every single emotion in this skills challenge. You were so excited, and now you're so scared.
Every day of my life, I'm scared. And I'm just going to say it. Listen, listeners, I'm a coward. And I'm going to play to the only fucking skill I have in my deck. Can I use fucking animal handling again to get these fuckers out? Like, literally headed towards any sort of water source, anything that's going to make them have to have a barrier. It could be large rock, could be water source, could be little cliff face, anything that's going to give them a barrier that will slow these things down.
Clip.
Oh my god.
Clip. Sorry, swooping. Currently swooping. Clip.
Hell yeah. All right, can I do it? Austin, can I do it?
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Okay. Roll 20. This is my own personal religion check for me. Roll 20, gods. Please don't fuck me.
Please, weird little man who helped us in the Yeerk cave.
I have advantage on it.
As you watch the pteranodons turn and move away, as you turn as well and move, you flap, you find the stream again and you follow it, but the Deinonychus run, they start to move you away from the stream. So you have to keep flapping just to get away from them, and you see it break in the tree, and then vast sky. You duck down, swerve through branches, confusing the Deinonychus. They jump over each other and run side to side, and just as you're breaking the tree line, they all form back up, and a 5 Deinonychus line runs straight towards you as open air just hits, and they jump and then fall as you flap, and then land on a little cliff that's about 20 feet down, and they start chomping at each other and look up at you, and
You just hear, clever girl.
inspiration. You see the Andalites walk out of the tree line to the cliff and like look out and around.
I think Savannah just just to Dylan, to no one else, just goes, well, we're out of the tree.
Zach. You shoop and stick straight into this mud, knee deep.
I'm gonna finish demorphing.
You finish, but you notice as like these next few seconds go past, as you finish up your morph, the last little changes of your body make you sink just a little bit lower to about your mid thigh.
Okay. So there's dino bones near me. Can I reach them without moving a lot? Like, what is in arm's length?
There is like the bone of like a rib cage of some big dinosaur you see sticking out, and you can like almost reach that. Like it's like on your fingertip. That's the closest one.
I'm going to reach far enough that I get my hand on it. And I know I'm going to sink a little more, but I want to grab it and try to use it to leverage myself out.
Give me an athletics check.
Sure. 15.
Yeah, you manage to pull, and like you get even your knee above this gooey liquid. You see it sticking onto your like morph suit. It's kind of tarry.
Is it? Yeah, I'm just going to continue to try to pull myself out. I mean, if I can get up on top of this rib cage, I'll morph a bird and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, give me one more athletics check.
14.
So you like start to pull, and behind you up on the hill, you just hear that bellow again of the T-Rex as it looks down at you. That breaks your concentration for a second, and you drop back in. You still have a hold of like the bones now, but it kind of like shifted.
Okay.
Roll me a perception check.
Sure. I love a perception check. That was a dirty 20.
Whew.
I know.
Like on the closest bank towards you, there's this little head that just pops out. This little green head, elongated, little sharp teeth fill its whole mouth. It looks like a lizard, but it walks out, and then you see it's walking on the 2 legs, and it has these little arms in front of it and a tail that extends back about 1.5 feet. And it probably would come up to your shin if you weren't shin deep in tar right now. Yeah, it looks like a little T-Rex, but it's small and green. And it just looks at you and kind of cocks its head. And with that dirty 20, I'll say you also hear a screech and then another screech from high above you. And you look up and you see pteranodons flying in circles.
Does that little guy look like he would have had a starring role in Jurassic Park too?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, great.
Yep. Like, yeah, Zach knows Jurassic Park. The compies. These are them.
Yep. Zach begins to morph kombucha. Because I need someone who can climb. And Zach's not good at it. I'm still trying to climb, but like as I'm doing it, my arms are getting beefy and hairy.
Give me one athletics check as Zach real quick.
Sure, here you go. Okay, a 19.
With this rib cage kind of pulled over, you manage to like be able to get your arms on it and kind of push yourself up a little bit as you're starting to morph, and you kind of get your waist on it, and then you can kind of get your ass on it as you are halfway through the morph and pull your legs out.
As soon as like my body is free and clear, I stop and start going back to Zach. No, once I'm out, like I don't need to be him anymore.
Definitely as your arms beef up, that help. Now that you're out,
So I'm Zach, and I'm sitting on the top of the spine of this rib cage, I guess, is what I'm picturing.
Yeah. And you see more compies just...
Great. I'm just watching them, and I'm looking up at the T-Rex. One of these two motherfuckers is going to come in this tar pit, and I'm going to get me another morph.
The T-Rex, he's pretty high up, and he like looked down and roared. He knows that tar pit. He smells the death and bones and decay.
He knows what's up.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the compies are all around the side of it. And they look like they're waiting for you almost.
Oh, they're waiting for me. I'm just gonna pat the side of the rib cage. Like, come on up, motherfuckers.
Give me an animal handling.
13. -1 on the copy. This is about to be my animal companion. Never mind a fucking morph. I'm about to have a buddy.
The front one does like lean over and like look out and just take a little hop and then lands on the spine like agilely and just starts to come over towards you and look at you. It's about 2 feet away from you, kind of cocking its head.
I reach my hand out.
I'm going to say with that -1, it comes a little bit closer and starts to sniff your hand.
Yeah, I'm gonna scratch his little head. They're cute until you're biting. I'll scratch his little head.
All right, give me another animal handling check.
He loves it. Come on, who doesn't like getting their head scratched?
That's true. I'll make him make this with disadvantage. Yeah, it leans into it.
He loves it.
He loves it. He's literally never been scratched. This is the first head pats ever.
All right, so these are the first head pats ever in recorded history.
Yes.
Or unrecorded history. This is prehistoric.
Yeah, whatever this is.
So the first thing I'm going to do while I'm scratching his head is I'm definitely going to record this DNA.
Okay.
And then I'm going to kind of scooch him up my arm a little bit and let him sit on my shoulder.
All right, that'll be another animal handling check.
Double 12s again. Oh, no. Oh, it's still a 5. I saw the nat 20.
The nat 20 for a 15. But yeah, I mean, this thing has never been cuddled in its life.
Who knows? Maybe they just need a little love, Austin. We wouldn't know.
In its confusion here, it doesn't
confused.
move. It looks up at you. Looks like a dog, almost like its eyes as it looks at you.
Yeah. I wish I had some food to give it. I don't. I will later. Oh, we're getting fed. It's all good. So I'm going to let him kind of just sit there in front of me, and I'm going to start morphing to Shoebill.
Right. It cocks its head as you start to change.
He's like, huh, that's weird. I haven't seen that happen before.
Like you're becoming more like me. That's cool.
Cool. I guess it lets me finish.
Like right before you morph, you see 2 of the other compies jump onto the spine part. And then as you start to morph, they both like look and then like just turn and just jump back. The other one,
They said, fuck that.
yeah, the main one is just staring there.
Okay. Nice. I like it. I'm going to fully morph. And if I'm done, I'm going to pick him up in my little beak like a duck.
All right, this one, I guess make another animal handling check with disadvantage. Because now you are an animal.
Because it probably looks a little scary.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, 15. I love this thing. I love how fucking stupid this thing is.
It kind of cocks its head again and kind of lets you.
And it just
pick
lays
up.
there.
Yeah.
It's getting a full kitten treatment. All right, so I'm gonna pick him up and I'm gonna start taking off. and I'm going to go back toward where I started. And I'm going to start thought speak, calling out for the group.
You will need a strength check to fly with this thing, just to get up in the air.
Okay. So 12.
You flap your wings and you start to climb into the air. You have to flap hard to get into the air. The higher you go, the harder it is for you to start to climb. But you are flying with this thing.
Okay, so I'm heading back that way. I'm going to look for any signs of people. So like smoke would be a big one. A shelter. Anything that looks man-made. But I'm also just calling out in thought speak. Just Van, Kamren, Dylan, anybody, Max, Maitea. Just continuously.
Roll me a perception check.
23.
The sun is starting to get lower as the time goes on. It's still massive, huge orange. You do see that bright light still, but it's in the other side of the sky now. But as you kind of look around and the sun is going down, you notice in the way distance past the mountain that you can see is a faint glow. And it's irregular for all of this around you because it seems to be like a bluish hue.
A bluish hue? Okay. But that's a long way off.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not seeing anything around here. No one's responding to thought speak.
Nobody's responding to thought speak, but you do see the Deinonychus that were hunting the stampede. You see them walking back with each other, and they are like walking back towards a bigger pack of the Deinonychus. There's like 4 of them actually that were separated, and they're starting to walk back towards the pack. You notice the sun is setting like down on the ocean's horizon, and you see 1,000 feet out maybe a massive neck just shoot up out of the water as like a fish is in its mouth flailing, and it chomps down and goes back under.
Don't like it.
And you also notice Pteranodon, like they'll fly in the distance, like near that mountain kind of. And as like the sun sets more, they start to fly down closer to the mountain.
All right. If I don't see anybody here, I'm gonna head towards that blue glow.